final Torah portion of Sefer Bereshit, this week's parasha, Parashat Vayechi, is in my opinion one of the most beautiful parshiot in the Torah. Not only does it feature the transition Jewish leadership from Yaakov to Yosef V'chulei, and not only are the words so eloquent, but this week's parasha is famous for the blessings that Yaakov bestows upon his children and grandchildren. One of the most overlooked facts, however, is that Yaakov blesses one of his children twice. Not surprisingly, that child is Yosef. So in order to understand why Yaakov feels the need to give two blessings to Yosef, we must look at the blessings themselves. It's important to note that these two blessings are different in both style and content. The first bracha, at the end of Sheni, is given only when Yaakov, Yosef, Ephraim, and Menashe are present. In stark contrast to the bracha that appears at the end of Chamishi, within the series of brachot that Yaakov gives to all of his children, where Yaakov blesses Yosef in front of the rest of Yosef's brothers. Additionally, the bracha at the end of Sheni does not even appear. The text of the blessing does not appear. Sforno writes that the bracha isn't there. The only thing that the Torah recounts is Vayevarach et Yosef. It does not record the actual bracha itself, in stark contrast to the bracha at the end of Chamishi, where it is extremely effusive and high in praise. And the bracha itself is actually tied with the Yehuda's bracha for the longest out of all the brachot of the children in terms of psukim with 5 verses. Yaakov goes as far to say that Yosef's blessings will surpass the blessing that he received from his father Yitzchak. Birchos avicha gavru al birchos horai. So now that we've established a distinction in brachot, we must now analyze why Yaakov does this. So it is in my opinion that Yaakov is conveying here the duality of Yosef's nature. Two aspects of Yosef's personality are reflected and can correlate to the two brachot that Yaakov gives. Let me explain. At times, Yosef can be very taciturn and secretive and tight-lipped. We don't exactly know how he's thinking, how he's feeling, and the Torah doesn't recount what his thoughts are. And at other times, Yosef can be extremely emotive and ebullient about life, and is extremely explicit in what he's thinking and feeling. So there are many stories from the past week's parshiot that relate this message of this duality in Yosef's nature. However, I believe the most poignant story is that of Parashat Vayigash, where he reveals himself to his brothers. Before Yosef reveals himself as their brother, Yosef, while operating under the mask of Tzafnat Paneah, his responses and dialogue with his brothers are very stern and lack emotion. However, once he commands his aides to leave the room and he reveals himself as their brother Yosef, he's extremely emotive and cries very loudly. The Torah goes as far to say that all Mitzrayim heard him cry. His brothers, the enduring love that he has for them and the longing that he has to see his father again. Yosef has these two aspects in his personality. So perhaps what Yaakov is doing here, by giving these two distinct brachot, reflecting these two aspects of Yosef's nature and character, Yaakov is conveying to us, or the Torah is conveying to us, the importance of being astute and realizing the finer things around us. May we all work to have the ability that Yaakov demonstrates to find, discern, and appreciate the nuances in life. Shabbat Shalom.